from that era, that ready rock. I seen players make millions off several blocks. Fly girls, new cars, every yacht. Money so good they probably thought the run would never stop. Some died, a few of them I hope haven't got. We follow tradition, dog, and we set up shop to work out of town.
Guys? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we're going to be taking a look at another scent from one of my favorite parfumers, Pierre Goyem. And we've reviewed Cose from the House of Parfumerie Generale, Rouge Avignon from his Fade-On house, and now we're looking at a fragrance called Sucre d'Ebene by another house of his called Huitieme Art. And I first learned about this house at Oswald in New York City. You know, I saw these white, very interestingly shaped bottles, and I was like, what are those? I put them on my back burner, researched them a bit, and was interested in a few of their fragrances. Their myrrh one called Myriad, one called Poudre de Riz, and one called Sucre d'Ebene. Now, Myriad I got a sample of at Oswald, and for a myrrh scent, which is a note that I really like, I was disappointed by that one. Smelled good, just didn't give me enough myrrh. Haven't been able to check out Poudre de Riz yet, but you guys probably know that there was that Bendel sale, and they had this entire line 40% off there. A few were missing. The other two that I had looked at were indeed missing, but Sucre d'Ebene was there, and I sprayed this on my arm, walked around for about a half hour, smelled a bunch of other stuff, including the CB I Hate Perfume fragrance. I either reviewed last week or I'll be reviewing in a few weeks, and I decided that I wanted this at the price it was offered at. With the 40% discount, this came out to around $75, which I thought was a really good deal. Now, this house is the third house, as I said, from Pierre Goyem. He is prolific X can be, and well, I think the best house is probably Parfumerie Generale. Fade-On is no slouch, and this line doesn't seem to be slouches either. All three of the houses are very competitively priced, and there are probably 60 cents between the three houses, all very different, and so many that are interesting. Now, the idea behind this line of fragrances is scents that come from ingredients made from biotechnology. There are 11 fragrances in the grouping. The first was released in 2010, the most recent 2013. Finding these fragrances in New York has become a bit more difficult with Bendel shutting down their fragrance department, but they are still available at Oswald or Lucky Scent online. They all sort of fit in that same price range, which is $125 for 50 ml of eau de parfum concentration. This one was a 2010 release, and it is a unisex fragrance that features woodsy notes, sugar, benzoin, and hazelnut notes. As far as your presentation on this guy goes, the box just says Sucre d'Ebene, gives you the notes here, Huitieme Art, the concentration and the size, the name of the house again there, nothing on the top. On the side again, name of the fragrance. And then you have here written, it says, this gentle caress of sweet trade winds, musky infusion of brown sugar, witch hazel, and benzoin. Gives you the flammable notice here, do not swallow this, do not spray in your eye, etc, etc. And on the bottom you have the barcode and the ingredients. As far as your bottle goes, is really interesting. It's white. It has the name of the fragrance here in the house on this piece that is sort of raised up. It's you can tell it's a little bit raised up more than the actual white. It feels ceramic, could be metal, I'm not sure. And then you could see the amount of fragrance you have left via this middle piece, which is sort of like a surfboard shape. And the top is not very heavy, it's pretty light. You have a sprayer that does a decent job of atomizing, so I think it's a nice presentation. Of the three houses of his, my favorite is probably Fade-On. I like those bottles the most, but I think this is a fairly good presentation as well. And the name on this fragrance translates to ebony sugar, basically meaning dark brown or darker brown sugar. And if you're thinking about getting this fragrance, man, if you better have a sweet tooth, because the best way that I could describe this to you folks is as the little brother to Acqua Zucchero by Profuma Roma. It is about sugar and more specifically, I'll say this smells like caramel being made, you know, sugar burning in a hot pot, and that's really all this fragrance is. I don't mean to simplify it so much, but that's it. It's linear. You're going to get a little bit of woods at the top, and as it dries down, you're going to get a sort of hazelnut latte thing going on, but mainly this is a brown sugar scent through and through. If that's what you like, or you're looking for that, then definitely check this out, as gourmand lovers and those with a fragrant sweet tooth are going to be in seventh heaven with this one. I would say this is a unisex scent. Men and women can both easily pull this one off. If I had to say which scent might be more comfortable pulling it off, I'd probably have to say females, you know, because this sort of reminds me of pink sugar sweetness, and that's more typically characterized as feminine. I think that while this is a 4-season fragrance, because it's nowhere near beast mode, you're going to do best with this in the spring and fall. I don't think it's going to stand up to the deep cold, and I think it's going to be a bit too much for the dog days of summer. Occasion wise, this is a very casual scent to me. I don't think this is something you want to wear to work. I certainly wouldn't wear this to work, but definitely can work on weekends or on a date. It's playful enough and will probably do really well out at night. As I said, very similar to Aqua Zucchero, but it's like Aqua Zucchero light, basically. Now you're paying double for Aqua Zucchero, but you're also getting double the amount and a much more concentrated fragrance. So I would say give both a very serious look if you're looking for a fragrance like this. You're not going to get the same performance with both. To me, I get good projection on this for about 3 to 4 hours, and then it turns into a skin scent, and overall longevity is about 6 hours, which to me is pretty unacceptable for an eau de parfum concentration. I really wanted to like this fragrance more, but I can't ignore what the scent is, which is a very linear, weak, sugary scent, and there are better available for far more money and for far less money. This one, you know, sort of in the middle. And I'll be honest with you guys, if I could go back, I might not have purchased this, and that's usually quite rare for me to say about a niche scent. But here's the thing. People like myself purchase niche fragrances for 2 main reasons. Number one, we want something different than what we can get on designer shelves. We want exciting and different composition. And secondly, we want scents that are going to give us excellent performance. You know, scents are going to merit their price tag by going all day, projecting well, and leaving a sillage trail. Unfortunately, this scent doesn't really do either of those things well, so I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. I like the packaging on this line, and it smells really good, but it's not enough in my mind to justify the $125 price tag for a 50 ml bottle. You might get some compliments on this. Some men might find it a bit too feminine for their liking, but there's no doubt that if you do like gourmand fragrances, then you really at least got to check this scent out. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Maximilian Must Know. We will be back next week for 2 videos, definitely. Sample shopping and a fragrance review. Any questions, feel free to email me at maxmknow@gmail.com, and please check out my blog, maximilianmustknow.com. I'm Maximilian.
Police wanna call you. Niggas hating, but they faking like they love you. But I'ma do